Hey gang, this is Ronan from recordingbootcamp.com, and here's a little mini episode of Ronan's recording show. So I want to turn you on to something. Well, and actually the reason I want to share this is because I was having lunch today with a great engineer friend of mine. And by the way, Woods Seafood in Inglewood is really darn good. But anyway, we were talking gear like we normally do and plugins and all of that. And I was telling him about one of the features I'm really digging in the new version of the BX Digital plugin, and that is the gain scale feature. And if you don't know the BX Digital thing, here it is. Again, kind of a daunting interface on here, but actually a pretty cool thing. So it's kind of my Swiss Army knife, and when I'm mastering, I probably have literally like 15 to 20 different EQs I use for very specific specialized things, but I've started using this one a lot kind of at the front of the chain just to do a lot of problem solving. So we've got some cool things like the mono maker here, which will take the low end and mono it up, which is really important when things are going to end up on vinyl. But I've got high pass and low pass filters, and actually here's a cool thing. This is a mix of a great Italian band called Fiora, but check it out. This works in MS, so we can actually do independent high pass filters on the middle and the center. So, and then we could do something more aggressive on the sides because most of our low information is going to be coming down the middle. And this is a really cool trick to get some bigness and power and width without having to get into crazy sort of phasey stereo widening things. But anyway, it's a very detailed EQ. Has some interesting things with bass and present shift, but we can just go in here and this is on the center. Pull out a little high mids from these guitars. We don't know, but I don't do a whole lot of boosting with this. I do a lot of my boosting in hardware with some other plugins. But anyway, so we can go in and do these cool curves. And I'm going to go a little bit over the top here. And let's find a little bit of mids, more mids from the center. Yeah, pretty cool. And actually, what we're going to do is actually boost up some kind of high end on the sides to get a little bit of stereo width out of this. So there we go. And if you're getting a little confused why the sound's getting so weird, this has some auto solo function, so you can focus on really just solo the specific bands, which I actually end up turning off and on depending on the kind of EQ techniques that I'm using. But anyway, so we've just done this thing, which obviously I do it very differently, but the situation I run into a lot is sometimes you EQ something, especially on a really complex master. We have to fix a lot of things, and then you're kind of wondering, did I go overboard? Have I done too much? Has all the phase shift introduced by so many different EQ points make things better or worse? So obviously you can go in and do things like turn various frequency bands off and on, but the BX Digital V3 has this cool feature here where you can actually scale the amount of EQ you've done. And that's going to scale actually every EQ curve that you've done. So check this out. It's at 100% now. And now it's making it actually doing the opposite. So, I probably wouldn't go for a complete opposite, but sometimes if you think, man, I love the EQ curves I did, but I've just gone a little bit overboard, you can just scale things back. Or you're thinking, man, globally, I just need to do a little bit more, which I'd be more inclined if I was using this to boost, to bring out character. But we can just go ahead and notice that. Notice how the boosts are getting bigger and the cuts are getting bigger. So this is a really, really cool feature. Obviously not going to run through a whole explanation of this, but again, just another friend of mine was kind of curious about this feature when I was talking about it, so I thought maybe some of you guys might be into it as well. So that is the new gain scale feature, one of the coolest things about the newer version of the Brainworx BX Digital. All right, that is it for now. Have fun, and as always, stay focused on the music.